Qualtrics.com reports that 79% of U.S. employees say that a 4-day work week would improve their mental health. Moreover, 82% say it would make them more productive. Rob Krecak is a business builder, entrepreneur, and public speaker who helps companies attain and attract more rockstar employees by guiding them to a 4-day work week without the loss of productivity and profitability. His day-back system allows people to develop better mindfulness and technology habits so that they can become aware of how technology is impacting their productivity, relationships, and mental health at work. The goal of his system is to make people more happy, productive, and build better relationships at work. He joined me this week to discuss the benefits of a 4-day work week and how technology can be a leading catalyst to accomplishing this very goal. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation.
Well, thank you. I'm really grateful and appreciative to you to let me be on the show and chat with you.
Absolutely. So, Rob, if you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program, and I'm super excited to learn all about your life story. Great to see you today, buddy, and thank you so very much for being here.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Kevin. Let's do it.
So, Rob, they tell me when I was getting ready for this, buddy, they tell me that you're the ultimate thrill seeker and a motivational speaker. So when you look at your life, buddy, in a 360-degree view, what does it look like?
Oh, man. When you said when I look at my life plan in a 360-degree view?
When you look at your life in like a 360-degree view, what does it look like?
Oh, man. That's a good question. So I guess I would say that I kind of have career ADD. You know, I like to do lots of different things and I'm interested in many different subjects, and my wife kind of jokes that, I read too much, I guess. And so when I love something and I'm interested in it, I really, really dedicate myself to it. But I also like to have fun too and relax and experience everything life has to offer. And, one thing that's really important to me is that when I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to have to wonder what if. I don't want to have any regrets and wish that I had done something. And so that principle guides me through a lot of the things that I do in life, and it's really served me well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also tell me that people have the capacity to do something I wish we could all do, implement that 4-day work week, buddy. So tell me all about it.
Yeah, so I'm a consultant and the name of my company is Humans First. And what I do is officially help companies transition from a 5-day work week to a 4-day work week with no loss in productivity or profitability. And what I mean by a 4-day work week is I'm talking about 4 8-hour days, not 4 10-hour days. So, I'm truly giving every person in the company, including the management and the ownership, a full day of time back per week.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, what are the keys to doing that? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, like everything, I'm going to make this sound simple, and it can be simple depending on the open-mindedness of the person and the team that's doing it. But it also could be complicated. So, in today's world, the average white-collar worker sends and receives 126 emails per day. And so if they're taking just 2 minutes to process each email, that means that those just email alone is now taking up literally almost exactly 4 hours of your day. Now, if you add on a couple meetings to that, let's just say you're in meetings for 2 hours a day. Well, where does that leave you? That basically leaves you about 2 hours for you to get your actual job done, whatever your job is, right? And, for most people, they can't get their job done in 2 hours a day. That's not very realistic. And that's also very stressful and overwhelming. And so I'm here to help companies learn how to use technology differently and communicate differently, and hopefully cut out some of the email and meetings that they have and spend more time on things that matter most, or focus on the things that matter most. And so my Dayback system is designed to help companies reduce email, reduce meeting time, which therefore allows their employees to generate more value for the company and get a full day of time back and be way less stressed and way less burned out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob, you tell me that when you first got your Wall Street job out of college, you thought you made it, but you were unhappy. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about that journey on it.
Yeah, totally, Kevin. I'm happy to chat with you about that. So, when I graduated, I worked at a Wall Street firm called Robert Baird, and it was I really respect the company and the people. I really like the firm a lot. They've won all these awards for being a great place to work, and my department won awards on Wall Street for having the highest quality research, which is the department I was in, the research department. But, and so like when I got this job, I was making more money than I thought I would ever make out of college. And so I made all this list of things that I wanted to buy. And it was like, some of it was practical, like furniture, but other of the things on the list were like clothing or a stereo system or a nice computer, all those kinds of things. And so at the end of my first year of college, I bought most of the stuff on the list. Or not the end of my year, not by the end of my first year out of college, my first year of work, I bought all this stuff on the list. And I was kind of trying to be objective with myself. And I was like, I don't really feel like I'm any happier. I'm a different person or anything. I kind of feel the same. Yet I bought all this crap that I thought I was going to need. And I don't know, I just still feel the same. And so that kind of launched me on this journey to being, being interested in self-improvement, researching happiness, researching all kinds of different things. And I'm still on that journey today. It hasn't ended. And I'm hoping that it will really never end. I'm hoping that I could continue to get better every single day and, and continue to inspire those around me to get better as well.
Rob, I always say that life is a constant game of learning, isn't it?
It is. One of the sayings that I really love is the more you know, the less you know.
You always try to be a life sponge because everybody has something to share with the world. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And, I actually think I have that on my website. I truly believe that if I sat across from any human on this planet, that I could learn something great from them. I could learn something that's helpful. I could learn something that would teach me, about myself. And that's why I really like chatting with people. I like to get to know people. And I truly enjoy having, meaningful conversations with people. That brings me a lot of joy in my life.
Yeah, as do I. Hence the my podcast, right?
Yeah, it's like you're basically like getting, I'm not sure if you're getting paid to do this, but like you're doing the thing that you love just because you love to do it. And that's also why I like to be a guest on podcasts, because I just like to talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob, tell me that you have a sort of entrepreneurial spirit as well. I know you left your career in finance to open some health clubs along the way, and also a cell phone repair store. So you've been all around the gamut, buddy. So tell me, where does your entrepreneurial spirit come from?
Yeah. It's a great question. I'm laughing because, like I said, I kind of have career ADD, and I guess it just comes from my really intense curiosity to understand the world and to want to be challenged. What I kind of have found is that Generally when I do something, and my careers have been in totally different subjects. They've been in finance, they've been in health and fitness, and they've been in technology, right? All very different industries, very different skill sets. But the reason I'm very excited about Humans First is I think that this, Humans First and me helping people with the 4-day work week and technology mindfulness, I truly think that this is something that I would do and could do for the rest of my life, because it's something that I am so interested and passionate about, and I really want to help people with. And so, yeah, I guess to answer your question, my interests just come from extreme curiosity and the idea that I want to continually challenge myself to do something new and do something great for the world.
Absolutely. And you talk about passion, Rob. One of the passions that I have, based on my lived experience and my disability, but I guess promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. So I'm curious to get your definition of DE&I and how important you think it is to incorporate individuals with disabilities in all aspects of societal life.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you asked this, Kevin, because I didn't necessarily have a disability when I was younger, but I had a very crippling condition that very much changed my life. And I do think it's made me see people differently. And so when I entered high school, I developed extremely, extremely bad and crippling acne. It was terrible. And this led me to have low self-esteem and low self-worth. And it was really hard for me to connect with people when I had this. And I disliked how I looked so much that one year for my yearbook picture, I didn't go on purpose because I didn't want people to remember my face that way. And so, me having this incredibly bad and crippling acne for 4 years taught me that, it's not what people look like on the outside that counts. It's what they are on the inside and how you treat them that, really makes a difference in their life. And this also kind of brings me up to the company and why it's named Humans First. One thing that I think we've lost sight of in this world, especially related to politics, is that we are all humans first. Regardless of if you're a Democrat or a Republican, the other people on the other side of the aisle are also humans. And I think we've kind of lost our way in regard to that, and we don't keep that in mind anymore. And so I named the company Humans First to not only for two reasons. One, because we are all humans on this earth, and we should all be looking at each other as other humans. And the other thing is we need to put humans first in our world instead of technology, or instead of money, or instead of power. We should be putting humans first, because when we do that, not only do we help other people, but our lives are better ourselves, because we feel better when we help other people too. It's a win for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob, tell me, how do you view career prosperity? I'm curious.
How do I view career prosperity?
Yeah.
Well, I used to think that it was making a lot of money, right? And I didn't know why I thought that. I just thought it sounded cool to make money. But I definitely don't think that anymore. The way that I measure my success for my career is how many people am I helping, right? And I have this sheet of paper. It's my values. It's my value statement, and I have 10 values on it. And I read it every week. But at the top of it is the most important thing that I have, and it's my life's purpose or goal, which is to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people while still being a great husband, father, and friend. And so I think about that every week, and I read that every week, and I'm still trying to understand what is the way that I can impact 1 billion people. But I truly believe that Humans First is the way for me to do that, because there are 4.2 billion people connected to the internet today. And I know that if they knew what I knew about how technology is impacting their lives and society, the entire world would be a different place.
Absolutely. And Rob, when we look at business diversification and really providing opportunities for marginalized groups to succeed in today's career environment, what do you think that entails?
What is that? What? I'm sorry, can you repeat the last part?
What do you think success when it comes to career diversification entails for marginalized groups, women,
Yeah, I mean, I truly believe that anybody should be able to pursue whatever career they want, whether, and I think that, if you think about this conceptually, right, the world would be the happiest place if everyone does what they are truly put on this earth to do. Whatever your true skill set is, this whatever that truly brings you joy and puts you into flow, if you're able to do that as much as possible and get paid for that, and do that for the world, that would mean that the world is like everyone is the happiest in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so I do think it's helpful to try for each person to try to find whatever it is, whatever is that thing that allows them to get into flow and show the world their talent. I do think it takes a lot of trial and error, but I really encourage people to try a lot of different things. And as you've seen with my own careers, I've tried a ton of different stuff because I want to find this thing that I think I truly can offer the world.
Absolutely. And to that point, I'm curious to get your definition of maximizing potential and how do you look at that?
Yeah, I really like your questions, Kevin. So I think that maximizing potential is important. But I've changed my opinion about that a little bit recently, and here's what I mean by that. So if you look, there's all this research that's done by Martin Seligman. He's the founder of positive psychology, which started around the year 2000. And if you see, he's done research on different types of people, right? Some people are maximizers, which is generally like what I am. And I still agree that I am this way to some extent. A maximizer is someone who basically tries to optimize every single thing and get the most out of it and, make sure that they can be the best or do the best or have the most money or whatever, however you want to look at it. But it's interesting that those people, the maximizers, they're actually less happy in their life than satisficers. And satisficers are people who are, they're satisfied for the most part. Like they're happy with what they have. They're content with not having the fastest car or the nicest whatever. And I definitely used to think that, and I am in still some ways a maximizer, but I'm moving more toward being a satisficer and knowing that it's okay to not have the best or be the best or want the most. And there's this optimum point that I'm not saying I've figured it out, but I'm trying to get a little bit away from maximization and more toward being a satisficer.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob, my final question for you today has to do with your own individual and personal legacy and how important it is for you to pay it forward.
Well, Kevin, that's the entire point of my company, Humans First. I mean, not for everyone, but for a lot of people in America, I think that people believe that time is more valuable than money, right? Especially if you don't have a lot of time, if you're really busy, which most of us in America are. And so I view my company as really the ultimate way for me to pay forward this, my benefits or my gifts to the world. Like with my company, Humans First, when we guide another company to a 4-day work week and every single person in that company has 1 day of time back to themselves, I mean, that to me is one of the greatest gifts that I could possibly give those people, even more than money sometimes, because it's time, the thing that everyone doesn't get back. You can't buy any extra every day. And so to me, I do view this company as a way for me to, pay it forward in almost the most ultimate way possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rob Fowler, tell me if people want to get connected with you, buddy. What's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd love to connect with your listeners, Kevin. And one thing that I'd like to offer them is a free 30-minute consultation with me. All you need to do to redeem that is just email me. My email address is rob@humansfirst.us. Again, that's rob@humansfirst.us. If you just email me and put in the subject line that you heard me on Kevin's Let's Have This Conversation podcast, I'd be happy to offer a 30-minute complimentary call with your listeners to chat about anything related to their technology mindfulness or 4-day work week.
Fabulous. Well, I really want to thank you for your work in the space of career diversification, and I want to thank you for joining me this afternoon. It's most appreciated.
Yeah, well, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you, and I'm really grateful that I could be on the podcast with you and the listeners. Thank you so much.